When some people think of the wilderness, there's always one creature that seems to cause more anxiety than others. But another little critter of potentially greater concern often gets overlooked. In my last video, I had just returned from a camping trip to discover that I had a stowaway. And he's right there. You see him? That is a tick. And he was on my neck, or she. That can be a serious matter. So I gotta look into this. So what's the big deal about a little bug on my neck? I mean, I get mosquito bites all the time, but mosquitoes are entirely different. Yes, they carry diseases. However, they're in your face most of the time, buzzing around. They're quite blatantly obvious. Sometimes they're sneaky and they get you. They bore into your skin, they suck out your blood, and it's over and done with in seconds. However, ticks are a little bit more crafty because they get onto your clothing and they sneak up on you. You do not know they're there. They'll sneak up on the lower part of your body, they'll get underneath your clothing, they'll get onto your skin, and usually at the upper part of the neck or back, they will find the perfect spot and they will drill in, go through your skin and start sucking out the blood. The difference is they're not over in a few seconds. They can actually latch on for 15 days, engorging on your blood, getting bigger and bigger until they're like the size of a blueberry, and then they drop off. Now, that's scary enough. However, there's other issues with that, and it's the diseases and the viruses they carry. Now, there's one in particular that nobody likes, and it's called Lyme disease. Lyme disease is an infectious disease caused by Borrelia bacterium spread by ticks. While the most common early signs of infection are a red rash or fever, if left undiagnosed and untreated for long periods, severe symptoms may occur that include fatigue, meningitis, paralysis, joint pain, or memory loss. Although there's other diseases ticks carry, the Lyme disease part was pretty serious because most people might have heard it before. It seems to be, and I don't know why, that it affects Canadian musicians because Avril Lavigne, Shania Twain, and Justin Bieber all had their careers ruined because of ticks, because of Lyme disease. It is very serious. It can leave you like a zombie for years. Now, it's not just celebrity Canucks that get bit, as around 30,000 Americans each year are also diagnosed with Lyme disease. So now you can see why I was a little concerned about having a tick bite, because along with Lyme disease, which is bad enough, there are other diseases it could have had. So first thing I did was I phoned my doctor and I said, hey, I got bitten by a tick. What do I do? She asked me how long it happened. Well, it's just probably in the last day or two. And do you still have the tick? Yes, I do. Well, first of all, she assured me that's good news, because apparently to get Lyme disease, the tick has to be on you for at least a few days. It doesn't happen instantly. And the second thing is there are antibiotics that she can give me that'll take care of any risk of infection. But the third thing is, what do I do with the tick? And she said, bring it to a health services lab and they will analyze it. So, perfect. Had my little tick in my sandwich bag, off I went to a lab. Now you got to understand that in these times, when you go to a clinic or a lab, there's a lot of people in line waiting. They're all really nervous. They don't know why everybody else is in the lineup, and so they're really concerned. They're bulgy-eyed and attentive. So guess what happens when some guy shows up with a sandwich bag and says, here, it bit me, take this. And the attendant says, no, I can't do that. So I said, well, why not? You have to have a jar. Well, I don't have a jar, but you do. So, good enough. She went out and she got one of those little sample jars, the ones you pee in. and said, put her in. Now, people were starting to get a little curious at that point because they're seeing me with my little pea jar and a sandwich bag. Now, there's one other part of the story, and don't ask me why I didn't even think of it, but although I had the tick, I never killed it. It was still alive. And you know what? The thought never even occurred to me to kill the tick. I don't like to kill animals, and it just wasn't natural. Like, yeah, sure, I have swatted the odd mosquito, right? But the tick is like, cute little guy just crawling around there. All I have to do is get it in the can or in the jar. And that was a challenge because every time I tilted it down, it went up. And the assistant, she was really, really good at this. She actually helped me, or at least started to. But when it wouldn't get down and I started crumpling it up, she kind of freaked out, as did some of the other people that were in the lineup. Eventually, I did get it in, put the cap on, there you go, I'm out of there. And unfortunately, I think I traumatized a lot of people because they have no idea what I was trying to put in that pea jar, but I'm pretty sure they don't want it.
Now, just for the record, what I had was a male tick. This is the female, who once engorged lays up to 4,000 eggs.
So enough of the drama, let's get back to the facts and what exactly happened. The first thing is I did get an antibiotic, and it was called doxycycline, 100 milligrams. It was 2 tablets. I just took them immediately, no side effects. That was it. Nothing else I needed to do. But what about the tick? Well, the lab results did come back, and the tick was a Derma centaur andersoni. It was actually a Rocky Mountain wood tick, or a dog tick. Very, very common in the West, in the Rockies, in Canada, in the Northwest US. The good news is they very, very rarely, if at any time at all, carry Lyme disease. However, they are quite well known for carrying Colorado tick fever and Rocky Mountain spotted fever, neither which I think I want, so it was good that I caught it. So now I have all the facts. The question is, well, where exactly did I get that tick? And fortunately for me, I do a lot of filming, of shooting as I'm traveling. So why not just go backwards and see where it could be that I got that tick?
With gears in reverse, I headed back to the woods wearing my happy face. My skills at backing up had improved immensely. And I finally arrived back at my old campsite. First, I recollected the ash from my stove. Then I regurgitated my spaghetti. After spitting my beer back into the can, it went back to the stream. Now I backtracked up the trail. One possible scene of the crime was under this tree. Perhaps the tick had jumped me from behind? But apparently ticks don't jump. Most likely he was on a blade of grass, just waiting for a warm body to pass by.
Whoopee! I got one!
Well, I'm pretty sure some people are just getting ticked off because I'm still going on and on about ticks, but I'm almost done Because the most important part, now that you know the dangers of them, is how do you prevent them from getting on you in the first place? And the first way is simply avoid tick-infested areas. Do your research, find out where they are, and if you can avoid them, the worst thing you can do is go when they're most likely to bite you, which is in the spring. The second thing is wear appropriate clothing. Now, guess what? When I went out, I was not wearing appropriate clothing for ticks. Well, it was for ticks, it wasn't against them. That's the problem. Flannel, bad idea, easy to grab hold, lots of little areas they can get to your skin. What you really want is synthetics, like a windbreaker with elastics on the cuffs and on the waist. You want synthetic pants with elastics, down at the lower part. If you can't get them, if you've just got straight synthetic pants, then put your pant legs in your socks. That way you're protected. There are actually tick repellent pants you can buy, tick repellent clothing. I know Amazon sells it. I don't have it, so I can't really review it, but it might be something to consider. Other things is, obviously, you can just simply use a tick repellent. Now, interestingly enough, when I did my insect repellent review in the fall, I wasn't really considering ticks. It was mostly for mosquitoes. However, I do want to mention that the Thermacell I was using is totally ineffective for ticks. It's only for flying insects. So, if you want something for ticks, get the proper repellent, and one that I did review, which still works, is Deep Woods Off. Is really good for ticks. However, it's not a guarantee that a tick still cannot get to you. So the next part is make sure you examine yourself after every time you've gone for a hike. Look all around. Chances are it's going to be in the upper torso area, neck, back. Look in a mirror, strip down, don't be shy. Have somebody else look for you if you can't see it, and shower regularly. The shower may not remove them, but in scrubbing up, you might notice a lump. That's how you would get rid of it. And not only that, if you shower regularly, like every day or two, then you've got a better chance of not stinking up, because what ticks are attracted to is BO, breath. And if you're hiking on a trail and you're huffing and puffing and you're breathing out all that stinky moisture in your BO, and you just had a plate of beans, so you're letting a few of those go off as well, you're not going to be a chick magnet, you're going to be a tick magnet. So be careful. Also, one more little thing. If you're a dog owner, be very careful, because ticks absolutely love dogs. I have seen dogs covered in ticks all over their back, and then if you're bringing your dog into your camper, well, it's snuggling up with you, and it's putting the ticks on you. So be careful with your dog, be careful with yourself, make sure there's no ticks. Now, if you do find a big juicy tick on your skin, don't panic, because they're easy to remove. Now, you can use regular tweezers like this, but much preferred is to have a pair of the long, skinny ones. And you just grab it where it's on the skin, you squeeze, and you pull. And it's off. Glad I just used a blueberry. Okay, are you done? That's it for the tick talk. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out my others as well.
I kind of like that backwards walking. Just one more try.